Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Jose Peñalosa, así que puedo hablarles en español, pero a la persona que se encuentra aquí, que habla en inglés, voy a hablar con todos, con los demás candidatos en inglés. So good afternoon, my name is Jose Peñalosa. I'm glad to be here before you this afternoon, the opportunity to tell you who I am, what I'm about, and what I would like to do to help Mr. Ducey, to help Michelle Reagan, or whoever else is going to hold those particular offices. I'm originally from San Diego. However, my grandparents came from Mexico. My father was born in Mexico City. He immigrated to the United States. He joined the United States Marine Corps, where he served this great country for 25 years. And I had the fabulous opportunity to live in many parts of this wonderful country, from Kansas, South Carolina, Hawaii, and California, where I'm originally from. And my father gave me the opportunity to study. And I took advantage of that opportunity. And those are the opportunities that I provide to my 3 daughters, that I want to provide to the dreamers in our community, and to the immigrants in this community who are yearning to be free and to become part of our community, to be part of the purchasing power, and to have their raíces right here in our community. So, I went to UCLA, I graduated in 1986, and like Mr. Ducey, I came to Arizona, but I came here to go to Arizona State University College of Law. And in 1989, I graduated, and I began my legal career here, working in this community. I started my career at Friendly House as the attorney there, and I served there several years. And after that, like many of you, I went out because I couldn't get a job in the regular law firms. I couldn't get a job in government. So what did I do? I started my own business. And I've been myself-employed, should I say, for over 20 years. And that's given me a lot of opportunity and experience running a business. I have employees, I've hired and fired, I fought the IRS like many of you have. I've used SBA to buy my office property where I'm at, to make my purchases in my homes, and enjoyed that opportunity. I've been married for over 20 years. My oldest daughter, Alexa, goes to University of California, Santa Barbara. She's in her junior year. I have 11-year-old daughter, Sophia. She's a special education student. She goes to a private school here. And my youngest daughter goes to a charter school. So I believe in school choice, like Mr. Ducey does, because that works. When we regulate our children to one district and one opportunity, that doesn't work. So, my life service has been dedicated to this community and helping our brothers and sisters become legal permanent residents and become American citizens so they can realize their American dreams. And that American dream allows them to educate their children here, to buy real property in this country, and to start small businesses. Do you understand that we have over 50,000 Latino small businesses in the state of Arizona? And yet, our influence at the state and the federal level is nominal. And why is that? It's because we don't vote, we don't participate, and our children are not getting educated. We have the highest rate of our children not graduating from high school. And I've taken that in my personal practice to help the dreamers in this community so that they can graduate from high school, they can have successful careers, and they can go to college. And when they meet with me, and I look at them, even though there's a major age difference, they look at me as their deal, as their big brother, but I look back at them and I see my grandparents who came to this country and struggled for me and for my parents. And I want to give them that opportunity. And unfortunately, our state, on both sides of the aisle, the Democrats and the Republicans have not got it done. And here we are 6.5 years later. Our economy is failing, our children are failing school, and immigration reform is again at forefront. And each party is playing that against our community. And so I can be happy and stay in my office and have my career. But I've chosen to come out at a macro level and help people realize their American dreams. Help the state get rid of the image of 1070, to get rid of the image of Sheriff Arpaio terrorizing our community. Work with both members of both parties to be successful in that endeavor. And that's my life work, that's my calling to get this done, and that's why I'm a candidate. So, in terms of immigration reform, I believe that's the #1 issue in our community here in Arizona. It is ground zero. And it affects our clientele, it affects our probably family members, and it affects people that we know. And something must be done. So I've stepped out as an independent candidate. I've had bipartisan support, as many candidates do. I have the support of Lydia Hernandez, Catherine Miranda, and on the Republican side, Congressman Trent Franks, Congressman Paul Gosar, Congressman Matt Salmon, and Senator McCain. And why is that important? Because it shows what an independent can do when that person has a heart to really deliver for the community. And that's what I want to do. So with that support, we're going to come to a consensus on immigration reform. We're going to develop a model that starts in Arizona, because this is ground zero, and take that to Washington and work with Senator Flake and Senator McCain and pass a reform package that we're going to be proud of. And that reform package must entail that there must be compromise and consensus. Neither party is going to get everything that they want, but what we're going to get is peace and security. We're going to get commerce. And once we have the reform, what's going to happen is this. Commerce is going to happen again. In the 1990s, President Clinton was the benefactor of immigration reform that came under President Reagan and President Bush. If you were here in the 90s, you remember from 94 to 2000, this was Boom City, this was Boom, Arizona. And he was the benefactor of that. And you know what drove that? It was the immigrant community being established here from the Reagan Embassy program. It was their children being educated here. That's what drove that boom. And so when we have reform, we're going to have a boom again, because the people that are living in apartments, holding their money, sending it back to Guatemala, are now going to invest in themselves. They're going to be able to buy a home. They're going to be able to buy a car. They're going to travel. And they're going to invest in their life here in the United States of America. And that's going to be a boom to our state. So whoever is in the office of the governorship, I would like him to work with the delegation to get that done. That's the issue. I know he mentioned Mexico and commerce. That's extremely important also. But we must have that goodwill with Mexico in order for us to have that commerce. Lastly, what's most important is our children. Our children today are lacking the peace and security because we have families separated. And every day I see that in my office. When I go to the jails, I see that. And as a parent, and as anybody, you will cry with them, and you will feel hurt for them, and you will be passionate for them, and you will say, what can I do to help them out? And that's why I'm running as a candidate, because I'm tired of seeing families separated, families destroyed, they lose their houses, they lose their businesses, and all for what? For inaction and for bipartisanship. But when we have reform, the children will have a peace and security in our community. They'll know I'll come home tonight, and my mom and dad are going to be in the home. My tios are going to be here, my abuelos are going to be here, and I'm going to be peaceful, I'm going to have security, I'm going to go to school and be successful, and I'm going to take the leadership and look at other people in the community as my mentors, and I'm going to be successful. But our children don't have that peace and security right now. We have many young kids, they're the dreamers, they can't afford to go to college because of prohibitions by the state. We even have kids that are native born, their parents are undocumented. They cannot get a loan to go to school. They're relegated to a life, a very simplistic life, and that is to go out and work and support their home. That's wrong. That's not what the American dream is about. I don't think anybody here likes that. That's not a Republican or Democratic issue. That's an American issue to be successful. So when we have all those components together, that's going to bring peace and security to the state. Our image is going to be recognized at a national level because it started here in this great state. And we're going to be the benefactors of that reform, of that peace and security for families, and peace and security for our children. And that's what I'm about, and that's what I'm running for, because I have that calling in my heart to serve the community. It's not out of ambition, this is out of a calling in my heart to do that. So I'm not a career politician, I'm a professional attorney, and I've worked that way for 24 years. I practice immigration law, criminal law. I serve as an arbitrator for the Maricopa County Superior Court, resolving civil disputes, and I also serve part-time as a volunteer judge. So I do have that knowledge and that experience and understand what's going on in the community and how to bring all those skills together. So I thank you for the opportunity this afternoon to speak with you. Hopefully I gained your trust and confidence, and please tell your colleagues out in the community that you've heard us speak here this afternoon, and to obviously vote. We need the community to vote, but to vote for the right people that are going to really have a heart for this community and really going to bring forth change that is real and sincere. Thank you.
Okay, we got a few personalities today, and we want to